Alright, let's do this IS7. Let's do it sleazy. This is gonna be my IS7 review video. Oh, bad chat sitting in the open. So I recorded this earlier. That's alright. Anyway, what I really like about the IS7 is that if you're hull down, basically it's close to impossible to penetrate your armor. Meaning, if you aren't exposing the bottom of your tank or the back of it, you're pretty good. Here, I see the waffle. I do a poor job at side scraping. I open up my front. I should have just like packed up a little bit like this, and then yep, should have done that. Didn't do it. Got hit for it, but I got 3 shots off. 3 right now. Anyway, so Ruinberg, we got the Assault, which is a horrible game mode. It started my IS7 out in the field, so we have to find a way to get into the city to find some cover. Because the IS7 in the open is garbage. It sucks. Anyway, so I'm just trying to get into the freaking city right now, which I do, and I find a place to hide the hull of my tank. The hull. Oh. So here I got a pretty good spot. They can't see my underplate. Basically all they can see is like my turret, which is nice. So I will be obliged to post up here for a while. Yeah, here I am. I'm getting shot. Things are bouncing off. This waffle is just gonna let me shoot him. As you can see, the i7 doesn't have the strongest gun. It's definitely the weak point. That can be made up for using a premium round. If you can't find the penetration you need, just switch over to some premium rounds. Definitely for heavies. If I'm fighting like an E100 or another IS7, I would switch over to the premium. But anyway, I'm not using that here because I'm going up against mediums and tank destroyers like El Waffle there. But what you want to do, as you can see, I'm not the best tanker in the world, but the IS7 allows you to take a lot of hits and at the same time put out a decent amount of damage. So here I decide I think I'm going to pull up. Yep, had enough of this waffle sitting back. Let's go give him the heebie-jeebies. Another thing I like about this IS7, I think it's one of the coolest looking tanks. It just looks sleek. YOLO Baggins, slut jump. He got wrecked right in his keister. So, as you can see, as I'm doing, I find the E100. What I do, I can use this tank side scrape off of to try to track him. Because why the hell not? Anyway, I switch over to my prems for this. What happens here is I'm using this tank, but he gets a lucky shot. He hits me right in part of my track that can do damage to me. He gets a pretty lucky shot here. Right above my track in between the whatever it's called. Anyway, see, I take a look here. He got me right on the side of that track. Usually I think that shot would bounce, but apparently not. Alright, switching over to another battle. This will give you a chance to see how the i7 can duel with 2 heavies, namely the E100 and the i7. Anyway, I know I have a tank destroyer at my back, so that means that I can do a little bit, be a little bit more vigorous, if you will, in my tanking. VigorousTanking.com, the real place. Anyway, so what I'm doing here is I'm going in for what's called a face hug. You're just putting your face onto their tank. When you do this, the i7 becomes basically unstoppable. I should keep just my front on the E100 for days. Anyway, the IS7 comes up. What I need to do is I need to keep both of these tanks at my front. I do a good job at that, but also the tank destroyer behind me helps out a lot too.
Focus on this area.
The E100 is weird. They're not focused on me because they know the armor of the i7 is so good that they're focused on the tank destroyer behind me. So I need to be up in these guys, causing as much trouble, nonsense as I can. Here, the E100 is just continuing to be a weirdo pants, and I'm just mowing through him. Anyway, let's take him down. The IS-7 does get on my side here, and he gets a shot off into my piked nose. The piked nose on the IS-7 is kind of weird. What that means is you want to always be directly facing your enemy. Like right here, I get an angle on his piked nose, and that allows me just to penetrate right through to his tank, dominating. If he was facing me directly, and I tried to shoot that piked angle front, I probably wouldn't have penetrated a shot with a bounce, especially with the gun on the IS-7. One con to the IS-7 is that the gun is quite weak, and I've talked about that already, but overall I really like the IS-7. The whole tank line is fun. The IS-8 is kind of rough at the start, but it doesn't have a log on the side, so that makes up for it. So let's review this mofo. Pros and cons, dog.
Darth Vader here. I have slain Jacklash, and now I will review the IS-7. One thing that I can say, it isn't as good as the Death Star. That can be confusing because the Death Star is actually a nickname for the British tank destroyer at Tier 10. But what I'm referring to is the Death Star that was in Star Wars. The circular moon contraption. Alright, this was weird.
That was really weird. Anyway, IS-7 review. Pros. Armor. It can side scrape. It can support. It can brawl. It can face hug like a boss. Bossfacehug.com. It's a real website. Actually, probably not. If it is, it's probably a weird website. Probably better not Google that. Anyway, cons, the gun is actually kind of weak. Pro, the whole tank line is fun. The IS-8, which is the Tier 9 version, is probably the weakest in the line, but it makes up for it because it has a giant log on the side of the tank. It's got a log, okay? Deal with it. Deal with the log. Love the log. IS-7, I loved it. I still love it. 8 out of 10. It's a great Tier 10 to have, and if you're just beginning in World of Tanks, it's a great tank line to go down because it's very forgiving. But do watch out for that gun. It's a little poopy, if you will. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. If you need anything, you know how to get at me. And Darth Vader too. He'll be around. Okay, bye.